Hey everybody, John Woolworth here and wife and daughters. And we didn't even bother like doing a build out or anything like that. We just cleaned out the medical tape and everything else, the sharps container, and did a really good cleaning job on the ambulance. And we are just going to go test out how camping is in it so we can figure out what we actually want to do with it. Anything else you want to add to that?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Well, so we're heading up to Saluda, North Carolina. And we're going to do like a regular campground, and we're just going to test it out and see where we go from there. So we'll see you there. We set out across the state of South Carolina, heading roughly 250 miles to the little mountain town of Saluda, North Carolina. It was a bit ambitious for an untested vehicle we'd just bought off an auction, but it performed flawlessly. All right, coming into Branchville. This is one of our favorite towns because it's got an ice cream place called The Churn. And we're not going to stop there right now because we're going to go to lunch and we don't want to spoil our lunch, but it's a cute little town. Let's just turn in here. That's about as good a spot as any, I think. Yeah, awesome. The old railroad depot. Let's do that. Should we go free the children from the back? Was it bumpy?
Yeah.
Quick answer there. Yes, it was bumpy.
Not terribly, but
Yeah, but it was, and the air conditioning worked back
yeah,
here.
that's fine.
Wonderful. Okay, awesome.
Where are we again?
We're in Branchville. The Churn is right over there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's the old depot over there. This depot was completely abandoned a while back. I took some pictures inside. There was no floor or anything. Looks like they've completely redone it and turned it into a restaurant. She wants to be with me. Okay, I can take her. Okay, Sadie. Gonna go up? Sadie, up. There you go. Oh, you don't like... Oh, Sadie, come on back. Sorry, I didn't realize that was just not a good place for you to walk. Come on, here we go. Yeah. Pretty soon we were back on the road again, traveling across the state. Hey there.
Hi.
So we didn't actually need diesel, but I'm really curious to see what kind of fuel mileage we got. One of the reasons we got this vehicle is because it's supposed to get better gas mileage with a diesel engine, so we're about to find out how we did. Well, it's taking more than I was expecting it to right now. I still got to put diesel in the second tank too.
Oh, okay.
I figure if we get anything over 12, I will be ecstatic actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But we're going to find out. So 253.6 miles divided by 20.76 gallons is 12.22 miles per gallon.
Okay.
I can't complain.
No. Mm-mm.
So for something this massive, so, all right. I said when we got this that anything over 10 was going to be a win.
Mm-hmm.
So I can live with 12.
Awesome. And maybe there's something we can do to make it better.
Probably not. Finally, after several hours of driving, we pulled into the Orchard Lake Campground in Saluda, North Carolina. I got to try backing this monstrosity of a vehicle up for the first time into our campsite. It wasn't terribly difficult, but I did need to get a good feel for the vehicle and just how big it was. I'm gonna go plug it in.
Okay.
Hey, hey. Oh, this is new.
Just surveying our campsite.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
I don't remember the tent being this color or not having to string it through. This goes in there.
I don't remember this tent at all, actually.
So it's not just me. This feels like a new tent.
Did we just obtain a new tent and have no idea where it came from?
Kinda.
I remember.
This is a new tent. That's not the brand.
What brand is it?
Healthy.
Well, it's a decent brand.
This isn't new.
Well, I'm glad
Oh, it's quite different.
I'm glad you remembered at least, because
It seems vaguely familiar now, but we must not have used it very many times.
It is a beautiful evening out. Just got to the campsite and it's so nice out, so we're going to cook outside. We just have our propane stove and we can do that inside or outside, either way. Got a gorgeous view by the lake here. Annabelle's eating pickle chips with Mexican spices on it. What do you think?
Vacations officially started when you're eating pickle chips, right?
With Mexican spices on it, yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Stick in your hair.
So one of the reasons we got an ambulance as a camper is because regular campers don't come with monkey bars in them.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all you're gonna do, huh? Are you ready?
Yep.
Kill it. Well, it's the first morning, I guess, after our first night of sleep. And it was a bit of a rough night. This trip was pretty much so that we could figure out what are the things we need to change before we actually start changing things and then find out we didn't like them. So absolute number one on the list is a comfortable bed, followed by a good table, which the two will probably be a solution into themselves because we'll make a table that goes into a bed more than likely. Other than that, we have a whole list of things, but I'm up this morning now. As you can see, it's a cold, misty morning, and which means it is time for a cold plunge. Oh yeah. All right, so I've had my cold plunge now. We're gonna try to get started with today. We were hoping for a little bit better weather than this, but we're planning on going hiking. I think we'll probably end up doing Little Bradley Falls, which is one of our favorite hikes right near the campsite here. It's only a few miles away, and really gorgeous waterfall. And it's a fairly short hike. It's not that, well, parts of it are hard if you make it hard, but there's an upper and lower trail. The lower trail goes right along the creek, and it's really beautiful, but it's actually really slippery and hard in places. But then there's an upper trail too, which is really easy, but we tend to like to take the lower trail because it is a lot prettier and it's right by the water. So I think we're going to try to get moving here pretty soon. It's supposed to rain this afternoon, and we'd like to get out and do that while it's still just misty and not rainy. So I think I'm going to head back to the campsite and we are going to get rolling. Someone's very excited about the morning.
People are awake now.
Go get Abby. Go get Abby.
Really? Yeah, there you go. See?
So we pulled up to the entrance to Little Bradley Falls, and the firefighters are here patrolling. I'd forgotten there were fires over here, but you can see on the side of the road it's already burned here. So fortunately, where we're going has not burned. Smells like smoke over here. Oh wow, what is that? Somebody stuck a coconut on me. Where'd you get the coconuts?
I know. Here in the middle of North Carolina. Who would have thought?
So I had forgotten that there was a hurricane that came through here, and this trail has completely changed. Where there was just a creek before, now there's a giant sandbar, and it's much easier to walk on it now. More downed trees from the hurricane. You're just gonna walk the log instead, huh? You know, that's a good idea. So if you come looking for Little Bradley Falls Trail, there's a lot of deadfall It's hard to find the trail sometimes. But it's going to be worth it, right? Yeah, that looks doable. Well, it looks pretty much the same as it did before here anyway, other than the pile of logs. We also took another hike later on to Big Bradley Falls, which is nearby, and even though you can't actually get to the bottom of the falls, I did fly my drone down so I could get a better view of it, and this is the resulting footage. So one of the really cool things about having an ambulance is that you've got these floodlights that are already installed, and you can turn them on the right side or the left side. There's actually rear as well. So you can light up your campsite. And then inside, hello Sadie, and Annabelle too. We just have it set up. We're not set up for bed right now. There's Lynn reading her Bible. Hello there. It's really cluttered right now, but at night we're going to set up an air mattress on the floor. We were originally going to both sleep on that air mattress, but we bought the world's worst one. So Lynn has been sleeping up on top of the bench here, which is a nice long bench. You've been pretty comfortable, right?
Decently, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then I've been mildly comfortable on the mattress on the floor. So we're eventually going to put in some kind of a bed, but we're on this trip so that we can figure things out and figure out what kind of a bed we actually want. So we'll fill you in on that once we get that figured out. But in the meantime, just enjoying this as a large room. So now we have it set up for sleeping. We've got the air mattress on the floor and we've got a sleeping bag on the bench. This is not the way we're going to keep it permanently, but for our first trip, this is what we're doing. And it's working okay. In the future, we plan to have, at least in our current thinking, a fold-out bed that will take up probably about 2/3 of the space in here. And then when we're done with it at the end of the night, we can just fold it back up and we will have our floor space again. So plans may change, but that's what we're thinking right now. We also may end up putting a window in up above there. There's no windows other than the door window and the back windows that we have right now. So it'd be nice to have a little bit more light coming in here. One last peaceful morning here. I think the initial camping trip with the camping emergency, or whatever we're going to call it, the ambulance conversion, I think it was a success. The only real negative was the sleeping situation, just because we don't have a comfortable bed set up in it yet, and you know, we'll get that sorted out. But yeah, I mean, it was a great place to stay dry because it did rain quite a bit while we were here, and we had power, we had plenty of storage. The engine ran beautifully. It didn't burn any oil. I just checked it this morning. And I think it's going to be a really great rig to do some traveling in. So as we do this build, we will keep you up to date on it. There's a list that we've put together of what we really want to prioritize here now that we've actually been camping in it. And yeah, I guess from here, we're just going to start going through that one by one and make each trip just a little bit more conducive to camping. Anyway, hope you'll join us on our upcoming trips and as this build continues.